Hello, Scorpio. This is your astrological and card forecast for the week starting October 2nd, 2016. And of course, this also applies to you Scorpio rising and Scorpio moon people as well. How are you? Now, this week we've got a fair amount of squares going on, and I've just been kind of preparing everyone because this always indicates good news and good opportunities coming with a package or wrapping that is a little rough around the edges. Now, you're a Scorpio. You can handle rough around the edges. In fact, I think that you are one of the few signs, with the exception of possibly Virgo, Capricorn, and Pisces, who actually find that rough edges tend to be a little bit more real. And when it comes to this, I'm kind of feeling like there is ultimately going to be a lot that needs to come out, to get you closer to the people you're in regular communication with, because all of these squares are happening between your 12th house, your past, your privacy, your hidden zone, and your third house of communications, which is not only how you communicate, but the dialogues that you have with others on a regular basis. And the first such square is happening between Tuesday and Wednesday, with Mars in your communication zone, in your third house, forming a tense square to Jupiter in your 12th house of your past. And this is actually a really good thing. Because even though it's a tense square, it looks like a lot of the energy that's going on here is getting you closer to possibly a sibling or a cousin. In astrology, cousins fall into the third house as well, because technically you guys it's basically like a distant sibling. You pretty much have the same DNA as you would, like a half-sibling. So with this square, there is sort of like a reunion opportunity or an open heart that is still going to be mutually challenging. And I think that this might have to do with past issues that nobody's talked about, nobody's felt comfortable opening up about. This could also be a conversation with a best friend or a neighbor that is finally ready to talk about some pain or some issues that you are really happy to see them open up about. But it might make you a little uncomfortable because you're not really sure you have all the answers that they need. And it's very important to know the difference between empathy and sympathy. We want empathy. The other thing that could come up here is that a lot of people are going to be opening up this week, okay? And when more people start opening up, there are more closets to come out of. And a lot of people are going to be doing that, coming out of their own closets, however they will, whatever's in them. And a lot of you Scorpio people are going to be put on notice to kind of like, okay, look, let's encourage everyone to stay this real. Let's all stay this real. Let's not hide behind, 15 pounds of makeup, fancy clothes, and resumes and all of that kind of stuff. People are being much more liberal with their communications about what's going on the inside. And you're there to encourage it with that Jupiter energy. Because on Friday, we've got the Sun forming a square to Pluto between your 12th house and your third house. And basically, new trust is going to be formed, or renewed trust is going to be formed in your social circle this week. And again, it's because a lot of masks are coming off. A lot of gloves are coming off, but a lot of masks are coming off as well. And this will create some conflict. I think a lot of this week is going to be fraught with uncertainty. But after Friday, when people are done sharing all of the truth, we do have way more closeness and way more intimacy in these relationships, especially if you've been feeling estranged or you feel like these are conversations that have needed to happen for a long time. So be okay with everyone being so vulnerable. So what is going on with your cards this week? Well, we do have the card of the Cunning Woman for your spiritual advice. And this is talking about timing and knowing appropriate timing this week. And understanding that just because you're receiving information doesn't mean you have to act on that information right away. Which I think nowadays, especially because we have ways to act on information way too quickly. Have you ever heard the term keyboard warrior before? This card can talk a lot about a need to know when to keep silent. Okay, like don't let yourself jump into the fray or get too reactive, because I think that sometimes a lot of people, when they're uncomfortable with everyone being vulnerable and everyone being exposed, they're going to want to react. They're going to want to do something to cover it up. Stay like the cunning woman and actually observe and let these things play out. Even if you're feeling uncomfortable, let those uncomfortable emotions play out before they act out this week. Because again, it's never a good time to try and turn off somebody else's spotlight, nor is it a good idea to try and steal it from them either, because you wouldn't want that happening to you. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we have the Seven of Wands inverted. And this card is kind of saying that we're probably going to be in actually a really good space financially this week. I know it's inverted, but you know what? Inverted can still mean good. Because usually with the Seven of Wands inverted, it's talking about getting something without having to fight as hard for it as as much as we thought we should. This can be a card of choosing our battles. And you're going to be noticing that even if there have been some issues going on with money or interviews, job hunts, or just on the job in general, where we kind of are almost rehearsing how are we going to handle this. There are going to be a lot of things sinking into place without you actually having to lift a finger. And the Seven of Wands inverted is basically saying, very much like the cunning woman, know when to keep silent. This is one of those situations where you're going to be expected to act at a moment's notice, but you don't want to act at a moment's notice. Choose your battles. Somebody could be telling you that you need to do this right now and you need to call this person right now, blah, 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 blah. You know what? If you wait a day, something's blown over. And that's kind of the energy of what's going on this week for you. And then we have easy also coming your way. Things actually getting mended, things happening without having to have the conflict. And again, possibly even the opportunity for quick, easy cash. For your communications with air, we do have the King of Swords upright. And this card usually talks about a very, very wonderful opportunity to actually kind of recruit some help for yourself if you're looking for some kind of help from an expert. Usually the King of Swords shows up as an expert. That could actually be an expert in, when it comes to either technical issues that you're dealing with, legal issues that you're dealing with, or possibly even financial issues. The King of Swords can also show up as a friend or a relative who is offering to take a burden off your hands that will actually serve you better than you could have with the time that you had dedicated to that issue, whatever it was. Maybe that's how the Seven of Wands inverted is trying to say, maybe we should leave things in somebody else's hands. Again, choose our battles here, because this person does know how to kind of get through some loopholes, if that's what you need to find, are some good loopholes. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Six of Swords inverted. And this card can indicate in a very literal way, some issues when it comes to travel, travel problems, either it's commutes, tickets, flat tires, things like that, or possibly even travel delays if you're trying to, catch a plane or a train this week. In fact, with the Six of Swords inverted, it's very important to make sure that we're not cutting anything too close with those kinds of energies. We can also have an issue with the Six of Swords inverted, though, with, you will need to actually be able to go down memory lane with somebody else this week. But it may be an uncomfortable place. People will be bringing up issues that they need to discuss that you might not feel comfortable discussing, or that it was a situation that you wished was just kind of buried in the woods somewhere. Do not allow yourself to play evasive or avoidant with this, because there actually is an opportunity, again, for that intimacy with all of these things coming out, as we discussed with the astrology. For your emotions with water, we do have the King of Pentacles upright. And the King of Pentacles is actually very, very nice here, because we do have a new love opportunity coming your way, Scorpio. And this is most likely coming from an Earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. Virgos and Capricorns being very compatible with y'all. And with the King of Pentacles, we see this person kind of trying to reach out as a friend first. Pentacle people tend to do that. They want to be friends first. They want to be buddies first. That's how they kind of establish their bond. So this is going to be taking things a little bit slow, but I do think that if you're okay with things going slow, you will understand that it's well worth the wait. For those of you who are currently coupled, the King of Pentacles is actually saying your partner is going to be working on that buddy bonding with you. this week. There's going to be a lot more opportunities to get closer to our partner by maybe incorporating our friendship circles a little bit, maybe actually working on doing the things together that we would normally do just with our friends. But we actually have an opportunity to deepen the relationship with our partner by becoming more like friends as opposed to just being lovers, because there's difference between being lovers and being, and being friends, and you do need the friends part, to make something strong and last long. We also have the King of Pentacles showing up as great news coming from a partner or a crush about a financial matter that they have been kind of stewing over or kind of dealing with for a really long time, but they have hit some kind of pay dirt, which, will be good news they can share with you. So that is your forecast, Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to get a session, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com.